Suggested to post here because on other subs there is no real advice being given. Might be long post. I am a wreck right now and don't know what to do. Me 40 female and my husband 39 male, married young and were each other's first. We have been married for nearly 18 years. We have 2 children, 19 female, 18 male, and both of them have moved out and are living their life. Due to COVID, I lost my job in February and got a new one in August. During this time, my husband had to do more work so that his job must be secured. So he was more distant due to his job. In my new job, I developed a crush on one of the young guy 25 male and started feeling excited. Nothing was wrong in our marriage and I still don't know why I had those feelings for that guy. I might be insecure in myself. I started arguing with my husband for no reason and blamed him for everything wrong. At that time, I thought of everything possible to be upset with my husband. As in our country, restrictions on COVID were removed in late August. So I started going out with my friends. I also started flirting with the young boy. In early September, I suggested open marriage to spice up our relationship. I told him that I wanted to have fun and suggested him to do the same. I told him that our 20 seconds and 30 seconds went by just looking upon kids and now we should enjoy ourselves. He was completely against it. He said that marriage is not a joke and is a special bond between two. At that time, I was having different mindset and told him how he had to change with new lifestyle and how old-fashioned he is. He was still against it. So I started manipulating him and threatened to divorce. He finally agreed to open our relationship. For first month, I hooked up with that guy and had several one-night stands. My husband also started dating but never slept with anyone. In October, I started realizing that most men never took care of my needs and pleasure. My husband was the only one who took care of my needs. The idea of sleeping with other men was short-lived and I stopped it. I started having sex with my husband again and felt great. We were still dating other people. He was dating his high school friend and also had several sexual encounters with her after a month of dating. I started feeling jealous because of him dating her and still sleeping with her. In mid-November, I suggested to once again close our marriage and be monogamous. He was adamant that he would not do it. We had lots of fight. We argued a lot but he didn't change his decision. He was still going over to her house and spending nights over there. This situation was like a torture to me. I had to spend night alone in our marital home, on our marital bed knowing that he was with other women and was entertaining her. On the 28th of November, I tried to commit suicide because the emotional trauma was exceeding its limits. I was rushed to hospital by my husband and this led to change him his decision. He now agreed to close our marriage again. I was a bit relieved. I thought we would recover pretty quickly from this phase of life. But hell, I was wrong. He still thought about her. He even bought her a gift for her birthday. He wanted to go to her house to give her the present. But I agreed to let him go to her house on the condition that I would be going with him. We arrived at her house. Her house was pretty big and looked really expensive. We arrived at the door and she opened the gate. She took the gift and gave a hug to my husband in front of me. I got pissed and wanted to leave. She invited us for drinks but I refused and we came back home. Last night, when we were having sex and he was just about to climax, he finished off while saying her name. I was pissed about it. I felt humiliated and was angry that he was thinking about her during sex also. He was also sorry for this but said that he is still confused regarding her. He ended up sleeping on couch. This morning, he said that he cannot live like this. He wanted some space from me and that he would be moving out for some days to clear his mind. I agreed to it because I had no other option. In the afternoon, my friend sent me a pic of him at her house. She lives nearby and saw him at her door. I was devastated and called him. He answered and told me that we were on break so we could see other people. It's been 5 hours and I am a wreck right now. He is not able to forget her and it's ruining our relationship. I know that I already destroyed most of the marriage but now I am going to do anything to fix it. I have written everything unbasedly so that you can give me some advice. I literally don't know what I am writing and seeking from writing here but I cannot share this with our children. I have realized how much he loved me unconditionally and I don't want to throw away our 20 years together. Any advice on how to make him change his decision? My 25 female husband 27 male. My husband and I have been together 6 years, married for 3. Our relationship has always had a bit of trust issues from both sides. I figured no one is perfect and it never seemed that big of a problem. But obviously now with this situation I feel like I missed a huge red flag. And by the way, this is relevant. I am white and my husband is black. We had our first child 2 years ago. Things were great. My husband is a wonderful father and very involved and supportive. Our daughter looks like a perfect mix of the two of us. Our daughter was a planned pregnancy but our son less so. Although we were pretty careless with condoms around the time I conceived. My husband was just as great during the pregnancy and he did a lot with our daughter to give me breaks when I was sick. He took the week of my due date off and pampered me the whole time. Literally the minute he saw our son that all changed. He actually walked out of the delivery room. I wasn't really focused on him at the moment but it was tearing me up until I saw him again. Which was when he brought our daughter to visit. He basically ignored me and our son the whole time. I knew something was wrong, but I really couldn't figure it out. I thought maybe he had been hit with crazy new father-son feelings and was wrestling with them, so I left him alone for a while. Finally, last night I asked him what was going on, and he said he'd email me because he was too angry to talk about it. This morning I received his email, and it was basically him saying our son is a white baby and he is clearly not the father. He told me he won't be involved in me or our son's lives until he gets a paternity test proving he is the father. This really blew me away. I haven't told anyone I know yet because it's so new. I am kind of hoping he's being a crazy dad and we will laugh about this soon, so I don't want to tell anyone and taint their image of him. At the same time, I am pissed because he is saying he thinks I cheated and he can't even talk to me about it. And right now I think he's really stupid. Our son is much lighter than our daughter, but he still looks like his dad. I am not doing the test, but I don't know how to reply to his email other than with a big fuck you. I feel like if I say no, he will just divorce me, and I don't want this to tear up an otherwise happy family. Story 2. I 40 male found out my son 14 male is not my biological son. Unsure of how to deal with the fallout. Infidelity. My son took a blood test at the local clinic recently. When the results came back, I was shocked to see that he had an O blood type. Neither my wife or I are O type, and so it should be an impossibility for one of our kids to be O blood type. At first, I thought there must have been a mistake made. However, as hard as it was for me to digest, I also accepted the possibility that someone else was the biological father of my son. I decided to speak with my wife about this. In order to clarify what the reason was for his blood type, I spoke with my wife and told her that his results came back and he was O+ blood type. She looked very surprised when I told her, and she immediately refuted the results and said it was a mistake. Having known her since I was 20 years old, it was very easy for me to discern that she was lying. She looked extremely guilty when she refuted the results, and so I further questioned her and asked her if there was something she wanted to tell me. She went quiet and looked like she was about to cry. This basically confirmed my worst fears, but I wanted to hear it come from her mouth. She confessed she had a brief fling while on a vacation she took 15 years ago, and that the man she had the affair with was the father. I didn't expect this at all, although I remember during that time our marriage was essentially on the rocks. We had 2 toddlers running around, our finances weren't doing all too well, our careers weren't stable, and we were essentially roommates for a 4-year period. However, we were able to overcome our issues and have a great relationship right now. I further questioned her and asked why she never confessed to me the truth. She said she was scared and didn't want to ruin our relationship. At this point, I was too angry to continue our conversation. So I told her I was checking into a hotel and would talk to her again once I was able to collect my thoughts. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with my wife now. I love her, I really do, but this is such a massive betrayal and I'm unsure how or if I can overcome this. As for my kids, they believe we're just having a fight, but are unaware of the details. I also don't know how to have this conversation with them. I still love my son, that hasn't changed, and will never change. But this will change our relationship permanently, and I'm unsure of how to effectively deal with the fallout.